Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to video lecture series for regional geography, and the book which we are going to follow is Geography, Realms, Regions and Concepts by H. J. D. Blah, Peter O. Muller and John Nichman. In the regular classes, we have completed South Asian realm and presentations on all the different realms. Then we have covered the basic introductory chapters, which constituted the basic concepts of regional geography. So we'll start with European realm. We have already covered a few topics of European realm in the class, but here I'll give a brief summary, and then we'll carry on with the next topic. So when we say European realm, so realm is basically the largest possible homogeneous unit of land which has either physiological base or political base or demographic base. On any basis, if a very large part of land has some homogeneous character, then we make it as a realm. So this is the European realm, and now let's have a look at the location of European realm. So this map shows the 12 realms we have here. This whole part, this is called as the Eurasian landmass, and this biggest landmass, it contains Asian continent and European continent. So we can say Europe, or the European realm, it is situated at the western flank of the Eurasian landmass. Flank, it's like a part which is extended outward. So this extended part is the Europe, and at the north of European realm we have Arctic Ocean. Towards the west of European realm we have Atlantic Ocean, and at the south we have the Mediterranean Sea, and here towards the east we have Asia. If we give a brief introduction of European realm, then we can say that it is the realm which has affected the whole world more than any other realm. How it has affected? Mainly by its colonialism. Europe has colonized almost more than 70% of the world, and due to which one of the major event was the movement of people from their ancestral lands to other lands, like Africans were shifted to America, then Indians were shifted to Africa, Chinese were shifted to further towards the Southeast Asia, then all different other nations were displaced throughout the world. Then Europe had been a cauldron of conflict, religious conflicts, territorial conflicts, and political disputes. And during the 20th century, that is the last century, due to the European nation, the world has faced 2 world wars. After the World War II, the world has seen a brief period of peace, but during that brief period of peace, there had been an ideological Cold War between the Soviet Union, that is Russia, and the United States. Even though Europe had been a cauldron of conflict, इतने वहाँ पर wars रहे, but still Europe has managed to do a very remarkable progress. We can say industrial revolution, it started in Europe, and a main technological advancement took place in Europe. Now let's have a quick recap of the major geographic qualities of Europe. What are the major qualities? So it lies on the western flank, as we have already told you, that it is located at the west of the Eurasian landmass. Then Europe is very small, but it is heavily populated, and it has more than 40 states. The natural environment of Europe is highly variable. It contains forests, it contains glaciers, it contains temperate zones, it contains warm summers, and the European land is rich in natural resources, coal, petroleum, forest wood, and many other types of natural resources. And it is it's a very diversified realm. On the basis of culture, you will find from black people to white skin uh, people living in forest, people not having any houses, to people very developed. So it has cultural variation. It has different languages spoken around, although English seems to be dominant language there, but apart from English there are various other languages. So that is the cultural diversity. If we look at physical diversity, again it has a very broad range of landforms. Alpine, mountainous, snow-covered mountains to Scandinavian areas where uh, sun, it looks as if the sun is rising for weeks, and they also feel that the sun is setting for weeks. The noon time period extends in the Scandinavian areas. Then it has warm beaches in the Mediterranean, the beaches of Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece. Then some plain areas and grassy regions in Switzerland. As shown in this particular map, we have the peninsula area, then North European lowland, and then the central uplands, alpine systems, and here we have the western uplands. So it shows how it's physiologically diversified. Next geographic quality of Europe is European Union. It's the symbolic representation of Europe. Whenever people think of Europe, the term European Union comes in their mind, and that's an organization made by the European nation for mainly for economic integration, and then later on it had some political objectives. It is one of the most prosperous region of the world, and the population of Europe is highly aging. It consists of more old age people because of very good medication facilities and a very strong healthcare system. If we look at the social setup of the European realm, we see the people are demanding more autonomy, and then there is another social aspect, which is the immigration. The immigrants coming from various parts of the world to Europe pose a very challenge to the social setup of Europe. Although Europe is highly developed, but when we compare the eastern side of Europe with the western part, we see a very big contrast. The eastern side of Europe is not that much developed, while the western part is highly developed. Europe has faced a euro crisis. Euro is the currency which is adopted by many countries of European Union to have a common currency throughout the region. But what happened that many of the countries faced total economic loss, and then they had to take bailout. They had to take big loans from other country to come out of that loss condition. Another special geographic quality of Europe includes the fact that it is called as a realm of peninsula. In fact, it's a peninsula which consists of peninsulas and islands. So let's have a look how it is a peninsula. So from here, if we start from Finland, from this point, it's a peninsula. From Spain, covering the Mediterranean Sea, and then coming back to Ukraine. So this is a peninsula, but within this peninsula, if we look in depth, Then we see this Norway and Sweden comprises of they make up the Scandinavian peninsula. Then we see this purple colored peninsula which is called as the Iberian Peninsula. Portugal and Spain make up that part. Then this is the Italian peninsula, followed by the Greek peninsula. And then there are a lot of islands which include the Great Britain over here. Okay, now we see a small peninsula is here where we have Denmark. Then apart from that, this island, the Iceland, then this island of Italy, we have Cyprus as an island, Malta island, and a lot of island surrounding Greece. This is the reason this realm is called as a peninsula of peninsulas and islands. So in this video we have covered introduction of Europe and some major geographic qualities of Europe. In the next video, inshallah, we'll talk about some famous physical features and its climate. That is the physical aspect. Till then, thank you very much for listening. Allah Hafiz.